Hi, and welcome back to another Life Chat video. I'm Jennifer Mata-McMahon. I thought I'd update you today on what's going on with the move and where I am work-wise because I just came back from a trip. So, yeah. I hope you're interested in these videos that I keep posting every Thursday, updating you on what's going on in my life. So I just came back from DC last night, like really late last night, because there was really bad weather in DC and all the flights were delayed, and my flight that was supposed to leave, well, my original flight was supposed to leave like around 1:45 in the afternoon, and I changed it so that I could go see apartments, which I'll tell you about in a sec, to a later flight, to an 8:30 p.m. flight that ended up leaving at 10:15 or 10:30 from DC. So I got here into Chicago around 11 something and finally got home like around midnight or so, or after midnight. So yeah, I'm a little tired, but I'm happy because of the results of everything that went on in the past 3 or 4 days, and I wanted to share it with you. So one thing, well, I went to DC because I was part of the NAEYC Leadership Summit, and I think I mentioned this before, that I was going to that. I was going to represent the interest forum that I'm part of. As a leader for the interest forum, we share leadership, and the person that is sort of overseeing it more so now, because it just changed, couldn't make it because he was going to that Canada conference that I was supposed to go to and didn't go. My paper actually airs tomorrow. So on another note, she was supposed to go to DC and she couldn't because she was in that conference. So I was, since I wasn't going and I was just sending my work to the Canada conference, I could go to DC. So I set out to go, and I left here Sunday around noonish. We left here around 11. My flight left around, I think 2. And I got to DC, and the summit started that Sunday night with dinner, and the food was delicious. We stayed at Capitol Hill in DC, really nice hotel, smack in the middle of everything, you know, like really close to all the monuments and all the museums, which I didn't get to see. I've seen in other visits, but I didn't get to see in this visit because I was there in the summit, like from 8:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. So, but it was really, really interesting. The summit was around leaders and how do you make your leadership more equitable and the organization as a whole more diverse. So it was really interesting. They brought 2 ladies from California from the National Equity Project, I think it is. I think it's the National Equity Project.org. I think that's their website. And they did a fantastic job. They were great. A ton of exercises, in table exercises when there were 8 people per table, and paired exercises and trios exercises, and all of them were really, really good. Really good experiences. We learned techniques to use in order to get people to talk about these sort of more difficult topics and get engaged in those kinds of conversations, but also delved in deeply into our own biases and beliefs and values and what does that mean, and where do we stand, and unpacked a little bit, just a little bit. I think we kind of scratched the surface of unpacking these biases for the people that were there. And it was a diverse group to an extent, because at some point they asked us to group ourselves, there was 130 people, right? The whole group of people group ourselves by how we identified ourselves, either racially or ethnically, and so people grouped by race, right? So it was the white group. There were so many that there were 2 groups, and funny enough, there was a white group at the top of the room, a white group at the bottom of the room, and then in the center there was the African Americans, the Hispanics, and there was like 3 Asians and then 1 Native American. So it was like, it was really interesting to see that representation of ethnicities and races, because that was the topic that we were talking about. How do we make this organization less white dominated, right? And more diverse and more equitable, and how do we get to include everybody in the field of early childhood ed and so on. So it was really interesting. I think it hit home for a lot of people in certain aspects, and in others, well, I think there's still work to do. I think there's still work to do regardless, but and there were the NAEYC staff was there, the NAEYC, the affiliates, the governing board, and the interest forums, which is where I was in the group I was in terms of representation. But we only were grouped by those staff, affiliates, governing board, and interest forum towards the last day, the last morning of Wednesday, which was the last day. So I was there Sunday night, all through Monday, all through Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning is when we sort of divided to think about how everything that we had worked on for the past couple of days could be then shaped into some sort of action plan for wherever group we belong to or we're part of. So in the broader organization. So it was really, really interesting. I liked it. I really I'm appreciative and grateful that I got to go, and I now need to share this with my other interest forum members. So that's why I was there. But I also plan to stay a little longer. So my ticket back, my plane ticket back was that Wednesday at 1:30, I think it was, coming back to, or 2:30 or something like that, coming back to Chicago. So right after it ended, I was going to go to the airport and catch a flight and come back. But then I realized I'm so close to Baltimore, let me just extend my stay a little bit. So while I was there, I booked another ticket for later, for the 8:30 p.m. one that ended up being 10:30 p.m., but whatever, and reserved a car. So after that morning session on Wednesday, I grabbed an Uber, went to get the car, drove to Baltimore, and I had set back-to-back 5 appointments. So I got to see 5 different places, and actually I got to see 6 different places because one of them was able to show me 2 that were sort of right next to each other. And I think that the first one that I saw is the one that's going to be the one that we get. Well, hopefully. I already, because of that, the delay, I was able to like check my emails and write and respond and do all this. And I contacted the lady, the realtor that had shown us that, and she had shown us something when we had been there before. Mike and I had been there a few weekends ago. Yeah, so I think we're set. Hopefully. I mean, keep your fingers crossed. I hope that this is going to be the place. It's good. It's a townhome. It has a backyard for the boys. It has a finished basement that lets out to the backyard. It has 3 bedrooms, and the bedrooms aren't large, but since it has a finished basement, it has that area there. And then on the first floor, it has a living room, dining room combination kind of place with the kitchen. The only thing I don't like about this is that the only bathrooms are in the top floor. The 2 full bathrooms are where the bedrooms are in the top floor. So there's nothing on the first floor. There's nothing in the basement. So if you need to go potty, you have to go up, right? So that's the only bad thing, but minor. And it's a rental, so it's not our forever home. So, but it's really nice. The person who's renting this place recently purchased it, and now is sort of fixing the little odds and ends that are not up to his standards or what he would like it to be, and then renting it out. So it's an investment property for him, and we get to be his first tenants if they rent it to us. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that. I think that's the progress. Now the other thing that I need to set in place is the move. The movers haven't gotten back to me. I'm going to call them today and try to see if I can narrow them in to see when do they have to come so that our things are there on the 15th, which is the day that we are thinking is going to be our move-in date. So yeah, I need to really pressure. These people seem to need a lot of guidance in order to, I think they have the best intentions, but they're just either overwhelmed because this is not their day job. They have a day job and then they do this, they have this moving company sort of on the side. So I don't know. That makes me think maybe I should go with another company of movers. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's the next step, figuring out the move, the actual move itself. The job situation is coming along. I've gotten emails from HR. My contract, I think, is in hold. They send it through FedEx and no one was home, so they send it somewhere where I have to go get it now. And I'm going to do that today as well, so that's coming along nicely. I also have been thinking about my classes and what I want to do and how I want to structure them, so that's also coming along as well. And yay! I'm stressed. I'm still stressed, but I am slowly but surely getting to a place where it's comfortable stress, because it's more excitement stress than, oh my gosh, I have all this to do and I'm completely overwhelmed and I don't have time, and the clock is ticking and time is passing, and right? I was gonna share this with you because I apologize for my nail that broke when I was watching. I went to see the first townhome, the one that we think we're going to get. I went to see it, and as I'm stepping out to go to the car to go to the next one, I whacked my thumb against the door. Not even too hard, but then I look at it, and then the nail polish completely detached from the nail, and it looked like my nail had detached from my finger, and I'm like, what the? And it didn't hurt, so I was thinking, what's going on? I was bracing myself for that delay pain, but it didn't hurt. I did break my nail because I ended up, when I got home, that was the first property I saw, and I got home around midnight, so I was with my dangling nail all day, but it took the paint, the nail polish off, and just left my dangling nail. And I was trying to be mindful to not whack it, because I think that would have been painful if I had whacked the dangling nail off. And so yeah, I don't know if this happens to you, but for me, every time I travel, there are two things that are almost 100% probability that this will happen. Two things. One is that I'll chip or break a nail. That's one. And the other one is that I'm going to get a bruise. Somewhere in my body, particularly my legs, sometimes my arms, but particularly my legs, I'm going to whack myself with something or hit myself with something, with a suitcase or with something, and I'm going to get a bruise. So every time you can tell that I've been traveling if my nails are broken or chipped, and if I have bruises that are inexplicable. And that you ask me, how did you get that? I'm like, I don't know. And that it's because of that, because I banked myself against something, or a suitcase, or a chair, or a person. When I'm traveling, I get go, and everything is in a rush and in a hurry, and I just knock into things apparently, and break nails and get bruises. That's it for my update, I think. I wanted to share what had happened in NAEYC, and I wanted to share what had happened in the home search front, and that's where we're at. If you're interested in this makeup look, talking about something a little more superficial, if you're interested in the makeup look, I recorded a video of the eyeshadow look, which is a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I'm hopefully going to post it on Monday. So if you're interested to know what I'm wearing makeup wise, you can watch that video next Monday coming up. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back next week with another update. See you again soon. Bye.